Welcome back, everybody, here to the final day of Super Week in the European LCS, as I am joined by ROCCAT's coach Veggie, as they're about to go up against Fnatic. Veggie, your team is 1-2 so far here in Super Week. Talk me through, from a coach's perspective, give them some pointers, as you will, after these games.
Well, it would seem that we're doing okay when it comes to macro game, which we're trying to be working on lately. We've been trying some new stuff. Maybe some people have realized that we've changed a bit our mid-game, and that's what we're working on. But the problem currently is if we falter in early game, we're pretty much gone, which showed in the game against Copenhagen Wolves. I mean, the game against SHC, I mean, it was pretty easy. Against Alliance, that was still actually a macro game element. To me, the reason why we didn't dive, and that's what we've been working on. So I wasn't disappointed then, but I was disappointed in the Copenhagen Wolves game, where we probably mentally lost the game. We felt too sure, and that's why we were just in a wrong mental state before the game.
Well, you were absolutely on top of everything. You talk about macro game, then what I maybe say is an element of the micro game. Those first bloods keep rolling in for Jankos, and actually talking to him after the Super Hot Crew win. First time I heard them being so confident and saying, we do want to prove that we're the best team here in the league. Is that something you guys as a team have actively worked on that attitude change?
Well, it seems to me that we can be the best team in the league, but it'll take some time. And second of all, we don't really want to do worse than last split. I mean, we had top 3 spot. That was really good. And like, once you've got that top 3 spot, it's like bad to think about doing worse. So I don't know. Maybe best team of the league isn't the best like, how should I say this, expression from Jankos, but a top 3 spot is definitely something we would be looking for. I mean, Worlds, like, there's no difference for us if we're first or third. Like, Worlds is the most important for us.
Well, absolutely, the main goal. So then finally, to get there, all the wins are necessary. What is the importance of the game here versus Fnatic? What are your chances?
Well, our chances, I don't know, like Fnatic's been doing really good, but we're definitely going to try. We want to win this game because, you know, there's no reason not to try. I mean, we're not going into all the, I don't know, possibilities of tiebreakers and stuff like that, but it's obviously better to win a game than lose a game. And when it comes to the mid-table clash at the moment, and we have SK, we have us, we have SHC, and we have Millennium, and we probably don't want to play against SK. We don't really like the way our style works against theirs, but we definitely prefer to play Millennium, and SHC is maybe somewhere in the middle. So tiebreakers could be important for us. I mean, we haven't done that well this week to, like, we're probably going to get 6th place, so it's more important for us who's going to be in the 3rd spot, someone that's good for our style or something like that.
So you're going to give it your all. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
No problem.
All right, so we're going to get into this matchup, ROCCAT versus Fnatic, with Trevor and Joe.
Thank you very much. Always amazing to hear from Veggie. Get a lot of insight into what's going on in the ROCCAT camp.
Yeah, and it's definitely an improvement. The moment Veggie started living with the team again about 4 or 5 weeks ago, ROCCAT did start leveling up their game. Faltered a little bit. They've played 1 composition in 3 games, won once, got bullied once, and went okay. So we'll see if they can do something different today.
Well, with that, it is time for Fnatic versus ROCCAT. And Fnatic are 2-1, having lost to SK Gaming yesterday, but they did take down the Super Hot Crew and the Wolves on day 1. Fnatic are locked into that 2nd place seed and will be playing the winner of the 3rd and 6th place quarterfinal, which currently could be SK or the Super Hot Crew versus Millennium or ROCCAT. Could be anyone, basically.
Yes, you've just listed all 4 teams, so we need to see how it works out. Fnatic have actually looked pretty good this week, but after locking in their top spots, Fnatic and Alliance both dropped games. Regardless of the reasons for their losses, Fnatic have moved very close to securing some fantastic records. Let's start with YellOwStaR. He's got 957 LCS career assists, getting very close to securing his 1,000th and joining NIF and xPeke. And on top of that, Rekkles, in his 2nd split of the LCS, has earned himself 154 kills this split. He needs to break 167, which was set by ManCloud last year. I'm not sure if he can do it in 1 game. Hell, he's done it before. He got 18 against the Copenhagen Wolves. We'll see if he can do it today. As well as nearly hitting the lowest number of deaths in 1 split. Meteor set the record at 29. Rekkles has currently got 27 deaths in 27 games, and that stat alone is incredible. He needs to avoid dying more than once this matchup to break Meteor's record.
My brain is broken. But what I get from that, Rekkles needs to die less than 2 times, get 2 pentas and a quadra, and he gets both records. YellOwStaR needs 43 assists in 1 game if he's to get to the 1,000 assist mark. A lot of work to be done, a lot of records to be broken, who knows? Meanwhile, their opponents, ROCCAT, are 1 for 2 for the week and have been running a very similar comp in their matches with that Zilean mid. And since Millennium lost the match in their last game, ROCCAT can still catch up to them and force a tiebreaker to get into the 5th position, which means they would face the 4th seed in the quarterfinals.
We'll see if they can. It really feels like ROCCAT were just focusing on that singular composition we've talked about, and it focuses around mid-game pressure and winning the early game. While it looked solid against Alliance, they beat the super hot crew, they got absolutely controlled by the Wolves. It looks like the Wolves could counter-strat them and figure them out. Let's see if they do the same thing again for practice, or if they go back to something tried and true.
If you do something over and over and over again, it makes your opposition job a little bit easier to try and counter that one. We'll see if they've changed it up for Fnatic. So let's get into the starting lineups then for our 3rd game of the day. On the blue side, it's Fnatic with sOAZ in the top lane, Cyanide in the jungle, xPeke in the mid lane, Rekkles on AD carry, and YellOwStaR on support.
And on the red side, it is ROCCAT with Xaxus up top, Jankos in the jungle, Overpow in the mid lane with Celaver and VandeR as the AD carry and support.
And you guys have been casting your votes on which team will win today. And according to LOLesports.com, who would have thought it? With 84% of the vote, Fnatic leads in another one.
Yeah, another big vote in their favor. Lost a game yesterday to SK Gaming. It was pretty one-sided. SK played, they got the lead and they held on to the lead, very crucially. And we'll see if ROCCAT can do the same. ROCCAT have been able to get early advantages in the past, but it's all going to be on Jankos. He's got the most first bloods out of any single player in Europe this split. 12 out of his team's 20. It's mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling, and it's been the thing that's gotten ROCCAT started in so many of their games. You have to wonder, I mean, he's kind of odds-on to get a first blood if ROCCAT actually secure it.
Yeah.
It obviously doesn't always snowball in a ridiculous style. We've seen him go 3-4 kills. We've also seen him pick up first blood and then it's fallen to pieces. So definitely first blood, not a guarantee of anything. Let's get into champion select here. Are we expecting Zilean to be gone after it's been run so often?
I think you're a bit psychic on that one, Joe. Instantly taken off the table here by Fnatic. Mączka might be another consideration. Alliance abandoned in all 3 of their games, did not want to let it through. And something that I actually didn't mention in the 2 previous games, Xerath has actually been disabled today after finding a bug related to his ultimate late last night. So that's not going to be in the hands of either Overpow or xPeke, who have both run it in the past. So Mączka is still up. Thresh taken off the table for YellOwStaR. I'm so happy to see teams taking Thresh away from YellOwStaR because he is phenomenal on that champion.
Yeah, there've been a lot of Morgana. I was just about to say, there's been a lot of Morgana bans in the past against YellOwStaR. That's left open today, and you see that cheeky little smile. First pick Morgana for Fnatic.
So we'll see where the rest of the picks and bans go. Ari is available, Fizz is available, Syndra is still up.
Yeah, when was the last time we saw 3 bans against Fnatic and none of them were targeted at xPeke?
A long time, Joe.
Yeah.
And the reason I think Fizz and Syndra is interesting, xPeke is still adamant, a lot of pros actually are still adamant, that Syndra is a counter to Fizz. And in theory, as long as you're hitting those stuns, yes, I can see it working. Overpow has run Fizz in the past. xPeke has run both Fizz as well as Syndra. Let's see if they're going to go that route. A lot of thinking regarding picks and bans. All the junglers, despite Evelyn, are still up as well. So Rengar's there. Cyanide's run Rengar in the past. Jankos has played a lot of Elise this weekend. I think this would be the 3rd time he's played it if he locks it in.
Could be the 3rd time that he gets first blood as well. Done such an amazing job on that one. And last second switch actually out to Lee Sin. So taking the lead, and also we're locking Kog'Maw for Celaver on AD carry. For me, Celaver has gotten a lot better. Wow, we're going to see Blitzcrank coming out with Morgana. So I'm not going to call this one too early because you've seen what happened in that game. YellOwStaR ran Shen.
Correct. Top lane?
In the top lane. sOAZ ran Blitzcrank in the bottom lane. But we've also seen sOAZ run Blitzcrank anyway in the top lane.
So a little bit of context to the game you're referring to was when Fnatic did that against old CLG EU last year. And it was to counter the Anivia. The Blitzcrank was able to get the hook onto the egg form and it worked in their favor. I don't know if we're going to see that because this would imply a mid lane Morgana. Overpow ran mid lane Morgana for the first time a couple of weeks ago. It didn't work out. And I don't know if Fnatic are going to have some fun with us. Remember, they are completely locked into 2nd place. So why not experiment? Why not have some fun?
Well, for ROCCAT, they're still fighting for a possible 5th place, for a possible tiebreaker game for 5th place at least. They're going to take Mączka and they'll also take Brom there for VandeR in the support role. So what are Fnatic going to do with this comp then? We're thinking Blitzcrank into the support role, Morgana mid, or will sOAZ just run Blitzcrank?
My guess, if Fnatic are going to have some real fun with this one, and they're going for style points, they would have to run something like a Vayne AD carry, put Blitzcrank in sOAZ's hands, and run a Shen in YellOwStaR's hands. Do a lane swap for this matchup, and just go all in, protect the Vayne. Overpow and ROCCAT tried to use a protect the AD carry comp in a similar vein, but it didn't work out for them. And we'll see if Fnatic can make that one work out. Not an intentional player.
Really?
Not intentional. That one wasn't intentional.
So, what are they going for then? 10 seconds.
Come on, Vayne and Shen, just do it.
Morgana, Blitzcrank, and Elise. Well, you got Vayne right, but we just completely somehow missed that Kassadin had not been banned in this one. And Fnatic, I'm surprised it even got through to the last pick, to be honest. It's going to be picked up. So that leaves us with Kassadin for the mid lane. And that means sOAZ will play either Morgana top lane or Blitzcrank top lane. Hell, he could even play Kassadin top lane and Morgana goes mid.
Yes, we've seen Kassadin top lane a couple times over in OGN as well, building a tanky, building an AP. There's options available to you. How that would do against a Mączka? Not particularly good until level 6, at which point you can get away relatively easily. But hell, you know what? I mean, sOAZ could take that blitz top. I don't know what Fnatic are going to do. I'm more disappointed in the fact that we both missed Kassadin all the way through to the second last round of picks. It's been a long, long week. So for ROCCAT, mid lane, are they going to go default and go Orianna mid? Or if they're going to go have some fun with Kassadin, with Zed? I don't know, Silence, Cocoon, it's locked. I don't know what is happening this game.
Zed locked in, first pick of the season. And wow, that is going to be an interesting one. I'm guessing that it's going to go into the mid lane, despite the fact that it's currently sat with Xaxus up top.
I think they'll swap that. I think they'll swap that. The thing that Zed has to be careful with, or Overpow needs to deal with, is getting past the Blitzcrank, getting past the Elise. If he jumps on Kassadin and Kassadin just rift walks away from the shadows, you can avoid a lot of the damage. And you often see Vaynes run into Zeds in the past because Vayne's one of the AD carries with a QSS, with the Blade of the Ruined King, that can out-duel a Zed. So this is going to be an interesting game. It's the last match of the weekend for both of these teams. And they're having a little bit of fun with these picks. sOAZ is sitting on the Blitzcrank. Whether he plays support or whether he plays Bruiser is going to be the interesting thing to see.
So I'm going to tell you right now how it's going to go, because I've looked at the summoner spells on these monitors at the side and cheated. I'm going to save that for a little bit because we need to check out the Twitter vote here. So guys, with those champions locked in, tweet hashtag FNC win or hashtag ROC win to @LOLesports. We'll see if we've managed to somehow sway you from voting for Fnatic. I don't think we have anymore because they've just gone and put sOAZ on Blitzcrank as support and Morgana top lane with teleport for YellOwStaR.
No, I like that actually, because if YellOwStaR can get a fair amount of farm, his Black Shield is going to avoid the CC that Mączka is putting down. And as long as he hits his Dark Bindings, which he will because he's got so many support Morgana games played, it should be a relatively safe lane for him as well. So everything's thrown out the window for the last game of the day for these two.
Well, gonna be a fun one, that's for sure. We're getting into game. It's Fnatic versus ROCCAT. Fnatic have that second position already sewn up. They buy into the semi-finals. For ROCCAT, though, it's all about 6th or a possible 5th place tiebreaker game. Still decisions to be made and results to come up to decide if that can happen either way. But for now, Fnatic are on the move. And one thing that's really scary at level 1 is a Blitzcrank hook.
Oh, you mean a Blitzcrank hook into a Dark Binding? What could be terrifying about that at all? The thing is, for Fnatic to make that work, they need to group up. It is still relatively early in that regard. So we'll see. YellOwStaR, despite having Flash and Teleport, he's actually started with Spell Thief's Edge. So going to be looking to maybe punish and poke Xaxus, generate some gold. The later this game goes, the better Fnatic's chances are at winning. Vayne and Kassadin can become uncontrollable, and if they get a QSS and a Zhonya's Hourglass, Zed becomes next to useless once those items are completed. So in order for ROCCAT to actually keep Kog'Maw alive from Cedeño and Elise diving onto him. And to actually keep Overpow relevant, they need to get kills and a lead early on.
I think they're going to invade you. We've seen YellOwStaR actually pick up the sweepers lens, so they may try and make a move. We've already seen sOAZ walk. Peke and Cyanide going to join them, moving down onto the bottom side of the map. ROCCAT are pinging like crazy on the top side. They've got no vision of the tri-bush and the move around that. You can see that Overpow is just sticking way far back because he doesn't want to get grabbed into anything. And it looks like Fnatic are going to move. Are they going to try and get around the side of Overpow?
You could always steal the buff. Easy blue buff steal with the rocket grab. And just 3 members of Fnatic. Early advantage. I think this was somewhat predicted. You know, Joe, you talked about the blitz and how powerful it is. For some reason, you almost always see those blitzes going towards the blue. xAZ is just going to clear out the camp. Or not, actually. Not even going to. So going to delay that one, delay the respawn time. And sOAZ and Cyanide playing the buddy system. So we got very interesting lane assignments. Rekkles, still deciding which lane he wants to go to, has opted into the lane swap from the looks of things. YellOwStaR now going to try maybe defend his own blue with the help of sOAZ.
Well, one thing to do, pull it out the back and do it in the safety of that area. But look at this, they are going to be trying to fight Fnatic for this one, but we already see Cyanide moving in, so this will be a 3 versus 2, and I think the presence there of an extra man might be enough.
Oh, they've even caught Jankos.
Oh, they're going to pull Jankos into that one. He actually goes up to the ward. Here comes a TP as well. ROCCAT wants to find this one. They've gone for sOAZ. He flashes over. The tree of xAxus is in the way as well. And they back away. Dark Binding lands. Can they finish off xAxus? Mid laners are totally ignoring this one. It's 3 versus 3 for the blue buff. sOAZ is going to have his rocket grab up in a second. He manages to pull VandeR, who flashes. The Dark Binding lands onto xAxus. Where's the execute? It comes in. His first blood for YellOwStaR, but they're not done yet. Jankos going towards sOAZ. Slow from the red buff. Will it be enough? He's got him around the corner. Can he hook him in under the tower here? No. Celaver actually came in and stole that kill. It's a 2-for-1 for ROCCAT. What a start.
Unbelievable start. ROCCAT taking advantage of the slightly unique team composition from Fnatic. They group up, they go for the invade, and despite the fact that Fnatic landed the skill shots, I think ROCCAT properly measured the threat from Fnatic. Even though they burned a lot of summoner spells and the teleport, they come away with the kills, and they come away from the advantage in the beginning of the game. So this is also going to put Cyanide's jungle behind. As long as Jankos can get out cleanly, Peke doesn't have any rift walks available to him. Not very well played. So 21st Bloods, tie for first actually. We're 1 behind ROCCAT in terms of total teams. Total team first Bloods. Here we go.
Jankos got a kill as well though. It wasn't quite first blood this time, but kill nonetheless at 1-0-1 as Overpow taking a bit of a beating from Peke in this mid lane. Although, credit to Overpow, he's up in CS, 32-25, with a similar amount of minions still remaining from this single wave. Crystalline Flask was the start for Peke. Actually, longsword for Overpow in there.
Also notice that Peke went for Flash Exhaust as opposed to Flash Ignite. So, looking to play a little more defensively against that Zed in the middle lane. And if Peke decides to itemize towards something like an Iceborne Gauntlet, he can also even build, you know, normal, effective items on Cedeño to help deal with the damage. It's a possibility. Right, so Cocoon and Rocket Grab, those are the options. xAxus is in front of the minion line, he's caught.
Oh, Cocoon comes in. Oh, he's pulled a minion! The minion steps in the way. And it's a landed grab, but not on the right target. And xAxus hitting his flash as fast as he possibly could there. sOAZ on the roam, doesn't get anything this time, but Rekkles is going to bully him around. This means free farm for that Vayne. Same though for the top lane for Celaver on Kog'Maw. And look at this, they're coming back in. Sapling says no.
So something we have to talk about just a tiny bit is some of the early items. sOAZ has already got that Sightstone completed from those early skirmishes. We see the Flask on Peke just to try and survive that lane. They're going to catch xAxus, I think, if the Rocket Grab can connect.
Yeah, he's actually going to go back into it knowing that he's not going to escape. Rekkles though getting the kill. Don't want to give this Vayne a head start. Funnily enough, we talked about it earlier. Rekkles needs 14 kills from this game to match Mindcloud's, or to beat Mindcloud's record, sorry. Last time we saw him go big on Vayne, he got 18 kills.
Yeah, I think it's a tiny bit higher. 160-70 was 151. So 16 kills, I think, is the number. We'll get production to confirm that for us. But you're 100% right. If Fnatic can play Bloodthirsty, it can work out. Black Shield didn't even get used, so...
I mean, it's definitely possible that I've added up wrong. I mean, it's considering that my math skills are literally the worst in the world.
Well,
it's possible that I've messed that up.
I may have messed this one up as well. So yeah, production will confirm in our ears in just a moment or two. But yes, I was talking about items. So, sOAZ currently has the Sightstone, as we've already highlighted. He's roaming, and he's playing that kill-hungry searching support. Jankos as well started with the Doran's Blade, and he's working his way towards that Spirit of the Elder Lizard. So also very aggressive itemization, which obviously led to that very low-level engage and low-level fight. And Joe, you were correct, it was 14. And with that single kill, he's got now 13 away from breaking that record.
See if he can do it. Whether he actually realizes how close he is to that record, because a lot of the time when we see these records broken, players aren't surprised afterwards when they do manage to hit them. We've got a couple of men stacking up here in middle. YellOwStaR's I think given up somewhat on that top lane where he was soloing out. He decides to leave Celaver all alone. As I said before though, Rekkles doing the same down on the bottom side. Peke is ahead in CS in the mid lane as well. And if we compare the solo laners, which in this case is Xaxus on Mączka, is 25 CS, and the 10 of YellOwStaR, it seems hard to kind of really compare them completely since YellOwStaR is also roaming around a fair bit.
We need to see how YellOwStaR actually makes this top lane Boots of Mobility Morgana work. Don't really know how to analyze this comp, Joe, because
I think they're going to end up
it
with
is a little bit of fun,
aren't they?
Yeah, I really think it is about protecting Peke and Rekkles. And if Cyanide, sOAZ, and YellOwStaR can land their skill shots, it gives the carries the moment, the goal they need. Right, YellOwStaR, we didn't see Black Shield last time. He's got no flash. Celaver backed away. And, you know, the other side is, if Fnatic are setting up this pick, you know, grab somebody, kill somebody composition, maybe they're trying to get the record. Maybe they want Rekkles to get those 13 kills to break the most kills in a split that ManCloud set last year summer.
Well, we'll see if anyone steals next time they actually try. I mean, they've just tried once again to get in to that bottom lane. YellOwStaR, you're trying to get rid of VandeR, who's not really having much of that, and is able to put back almost just as much damage. If you look at the overall picture, Fnatic have a slight lead in this one. We're tied on kills. Obviously, no turret's gone down as of yet. Blue buff coming back up, and this is where the craziness started.
Triple longswords for Overpow. Gonna be looking to get as much instant power as possible. Jankos making his way in here. YellOwStar's got the numbers. I think that was just a little too slow from ROCCAT if they really wanted to pick the fight. And Fnatic secure their the first blue buff after it respawned. And it's just shenanigans for the time being, because sOAZ and Cyanide have been holding hands the whole time. They've been moving around the map. They've tried to gank Xaxus multiple times. But Xaxus has been rooted at his tower and has been completely unable to get picked. So Fnatic, while they do have 2 kills on the board, I think in the mid-game, ROCCAT's composition is going to be much more powerful. But as the game continues to scale and Fnatic get items, I think they're going to catch ROCCAT.
Oh, this could be really bad. It's going to get knocked up after being pulled in there underneath the tower. But
he got away.
Will get away here with a flash. Cyanide trying to get on top of him. Here comes Peke from the side though. Is he going to have the damage? Who's he going to go for first? It's actually Celaver that they've singled out. Exhaust goes down. Celaver goes down. And that is xPeke that gets the kill. He's going to head straight back now towards the mid lane. First kill of the game for Peke.
Manages to secure another one, and that was just Jankos maybe looking to set up a dive on YellOwStaR, and those buddies of sOAZ and Cyanide being in the right place at the right time. So they got the skill shots, locked down Jankos, and took Celaver out on the retreat as he was running through the jungle. But I think we need to keep a very close eye on what sOAZ does for these next few minutes, because this is the first time that he's really split away from Cyanide. Still got those Moby boots, got that Sightstone. And one of the things you need to do with Blitzcrank is remain in control of the vision. If you do not have wards in your opponent's river or jungle, it's very difficult to have that threat zone for the rocket grab. And obviously you can catch your opponents unsuspecting if you have vision and they don't know that you have vision.
Well, ROCCAT have seen him on the top side of the red buff. They've seen him now on the bottom side of the river. They've got full vision of where sOAZ He's in fact hanging around. sOAZ is pinging Dragon here like, guys, I'm pretty sure we're clear to do this one. We could probably have a go, especially since Rekkles down on this bottom side now. Peke may come in and join them with that one. In fact, we see YellOwStaR and we see Cyanide moving in there as well. So looks like Fnatic are going to be starting a Dragon.
They've got the numbers advantage. Without Celaver here to fight for ROCCAT, it's a strong advantage. And the other thing, it's so difficult for ROCCAT to contest objectives. If ROCCAT actually move in for like dragon fights or buff fights, the threat of those ridiculous range skill shots, the rocket grab and cocoon, etc. are terrifying. Peke and Jankos. Oh, Jankos is in trouble.
Yeah, well, YellOwStar's going to flash over, pops his ultimate. Where's Jankos going to go? Kicks him back.
Here comes Peke.
That was close. Yeah, I mean, Peke's obviously going to finish him now. But it was a nice little kick over. I think he wanted to do it just before the soul shackles actually procced onto him, but he got stunned up, and that means the kill, and a second one for Peke. Second Kassadin of the day. Didn't expect Kassadin to be getting through. He's come through fans 3 times this week, which is, I think, more than any, probably all the other weeks maybe combined. I'm not sure if that's exactly
I'd be inclined to say it's very close, because I do think we've seen at least 3 Kassadins this split, so equaling it.
Yeah, this week.
Touche. With the exception of this week. But 2 wins, 1 win, 1 loss. We need to see if Peke can actually secure a win here. He's 2-0. Gonna go either Hourglass first or Deathcap first. Got the makings of both, and the fact that he's getting kills means he can really make the choice he wants.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
ROCCAT, they're gonna take the first tower. The problem for ROCCAT again, they've got 2 ridiculously scaling hyper carries on their opponent's team to deal with. And Overpow has not got going at all. He's even on CS with Peke. Every time we look at this middle lane, Overpow is behind in hit points. And Peke's bullying him. And Peke's roams have resulted in 2 kills. Overpow's not really been able to set the tone. Not really been able to get those shadows down and find the kills that he wants.
Uh-oh, xAXUS going to be in trouble here. There is the fist, the grab coming in as well. Cocoon actually moved away from, but I don't see him escaping. He in fact comes back in. Rekkles gets his 2nd kill of the match. 12 needed now to top Minecloud's record.
14 is the magic number. Rekkles hits 14 kills this game. That's when he breaks that highest kills in a split. Gonna need to do a little bit more work than this though. Every single time Fnatic are trying to catch xAXUS out, that's about 3-4 attempts for the kills that he's managed to secure. And again, look, Peke going aggressive on Overpow. Despite the fact that Peke has sort of got lane control, it hasn't resulted in Overpow losing out on CS. Thanks to the energy, thanks to the range, he is farming effectively, but we need to see how Overpow is going to deal with Rekkles. Blade of the Rune King already finished.
Well, ROCCAT saying, you know what, you can roam around the map. We're going to call you out on this one. Get 3 men down to bottom. Take our 2nd turret of the game. Nicely done by ROCCAT.
So for ROCCAT in these tower defense situations, as Fnatic have grouped up, they may even be looking for VandeR or xAXUS to get caught. Because if you can deliver the tree or the Braum to get their ultimates into the middle of Fnatic's squad, that could work out. Right, let's see. Rekkles is playing the role of a lumberjack this game, because he's really just trying to focus on xAXUS. Overdrive, come on, can we see? No, just Mr. VandeR's in trouble.
Oh, VandeR gonna get cocooned up here, surely gonna go down, puts in his shield, actually will get away. xAXUS though, won't be getting away from this one, and Rekkles gets another one. Overpow's death box on Peke, they get a kill back. Cyanide now gonna be chased by Jankos, who will flash into this one. Here comes the rest of the team. Where's the grab, where's the knockup? Knockup does come in, here comes Rekkles, gets himself another. Will he want to fight Celaver? No, decides against it. 4 kills down now.
Managing to get closer and closer. 1-for-2 trade. Overpow gets on the board with his 1st kill. And yes, it was onto Peke, but that was Fnatic playing a bit fast and loose in the turret. Catching VandeR, all props to the spectators. You guys caught absolutely everything there. And it was Peke just diving. 2 tower shots. Remember, a couple patches ago, those tower hits, they hit their max damage after 2 shots instead of 3. And obviously, even through the exhaust, that death mark was enough. So Peke gets dropped. Decent start for Overpow, but he needs more. He needs to do that to Rekkles and to Kassadin, or Peke, multiple times to be more relevant. And Peke's already finished his Hourglass, so that reduces 1 target for Overpow in team fights.
Yeah, and Rekkles is kind of getting ahead of this one. Blade of the Rune King, gonna be getting that Ghost Blade here soon enough. Speaking of that, Ghostblade is done for Overpow over on the other side with his Cutlass to start. So, back into a more normalized game, and as I say that, I see there's another
I don't think you can use that phrase.
No, I don't think so either. YellOwStaR and sOAZ are literally just running around with those boots of mobility. We're going to have a talisman here coming in as well for sOAZ pretty soon, so he's going to have that extra speed boost. Speed boost.
I prefer Spood Beast.
Spood Beast.
Spood Beast is much better.
They're going to have that Spood Beast to chase people down.
I actually like what sOAZ is doing because of the high root durations on both Cocoon and Dark Binding. When you combine the knock-up, which can't get reduced from, you know, Power Fist and the CC of all the other champions, sOAZ holding hands with multiple members of Fnatic is just creating this terrifying death squad. Because the moment a single skill shot lands, everything else follows up, and then bye-bye, you're dead. Flash hook!
Almost a flash hook. It was definitely a flash. The hook went wide. They get the turret nonetheless, forcing them away. Celaver did flash himself to get away from that. As xPeke also just riff walk away. Did catch the Q from Braum, but no real worries. 5 seconds until Dragon comes up. Oh, they actually scanned that one out. Well, look at the speed of sOAZ here. Nice move off to the ward. But a constant threat there. Because once you actually pull someone in,
that's it.
It's going to be a Cocoon and then a Dark Binding, and then everything is Overpow. He's going to get himself caught out here as well. He's going for Rekkles, but Rekkles gets another kill. Unstoppable now at 5-0-0. Can they get the rest though? I think the ROCCAT are away from it.
Fnatic are intentionally leaving these kills for Rekkles. They've put together this comp to single out targets of ROCCAT. And they're pulling it off. It's unorthodox, but it's working. And in order for ROCCAT to actually counter it, they need to group up as 5, they need to jump on Fnatic. I don't think they can though, because every time they try, somebody's just gonna get singled out and blown up. Don't really know what you want me to say, Joe.
I was gonna say thanks, Captain Obvious, for that one, but I suppose.
Hey, you gotta point it out. I mean, there's no other option here for ROCCAT other than to group up and force a 5v5. Because they have a tank, they have frontline, they have disruption. But then they have to get through Silence, they have to get through Morgana, they have to get through the stealth of Vayne. So many things to burn through. And with Rekkles having QSS, Overpow is less likely to blow him up with Deathmark now.
Yeah, that's going to help prevent him losing out on the deaths record. I think he's allowed
2 away. 2 to even it, 1 to break it.
Oh, Xaxus is going to get caught out here. Where's Rekkles? He's not close enough. They can't give it over to him this time. Xaxus is going down, and it's xPeke that gets the kill.
I'd love to hear their voice comms. I wonder what they're talking about. But yes, ROCCAT another time they caught out. Unfortunately, with the champions that Fnatic have put together, the last time Rekkles had a start where he went 5-0 on Vayne, he proceeded to go 18-0-1 and picked up the first pentakill of the summer split.
And all 5 of those kills were on Youngbuck, the top laner of the opposite team.
This is a rinse and repeat. Right, ROCCAT are grouped, but Dark Binding. Can they get through the rest of it? Cocoon. Let's see if they can make it in, Joe. I don't think they can.
sOAZ is running away from this one. He's going to leave the rest of the team. There is Cyanide going up. The Deathmark is already down, and that's a dead spider. Overpow gets his second.
So the moment ROCCAT are able to group up and pile on Fnatic, yes, their composition right now is still stronger, because they have a well-rounded team fight comp. But every single time ROCCAT get caught in skirmish positions, they are going to die. Rekkles is close, xPeke is close. Let's see if they can connect.
No.
The answer is no.
xPeke kind of spoiled the party there. He just dives in on top of them. But they will be clearing out a couple of wards, and Rekkles is now in that mid lane as well. As you said, QSS bought for him to get away from the Deathmark, to get away from the limited amounts of CC that ROCCAT are going to be able to throw him if they can get on top of him at any of these points.
And the other thing to note as well, YellOwStar's got no items. So while xPeke and Rekkles are going to continue... Oh, he just bought in these, right. While xPeke and Rekkles are going to continue scaling and continue doing very well, up until this point, Rekkles was not doing a whole lot. He's going to grab himself that Zhonya's Hourglass and literally just look to disrupt team fights. As long as sOAZ and YellOwStar peel, slow down, stun enough people in a team fight, Rekkles on Vayne and xPeke and Cedeño can just destroy all of ROCCAT.
Oh, ROCCAT actually going to be spotted here going over pink wards and actually pushing with 3 men straight down this middle lane. Let's see if they can actually get themselves a turret. Peke
Wow.
just going to blast over there, and this turret going to become a quick focus, but ROCCAT had to tank it up there a little. Peke might actually do a bit of chasing.
He's got an hourglass, so he can even jump in to start the fight if sOAZ and Rekkles were closer, but they couldn't close the gap quickly enough, so decide against it. But I like the fact that ROCCAT are grouping. I feel it's probably a tiny bit late, but as long as they remain grouped up, the combined power of the composition can help. But they can't get caught by those rocket grabs. That is game-changing.
A lot of vision going down to try and counter this as well from ROCCAT. If you look there, top side of the jungle is all red wards. They've got a few down on the bottom side of the map as well. We've still got a couple of minutes until this next dragon actually comes into play. To look down the items, Talisman is done for sOAZ, so, well, you're not escaping from him, basically, is what the story is there. Cyanide now moving forward to get some wards of their own down. We've just spotted Xaxus on the top side. He just finished off his golems. And there are 3 men there, and ROCCAT are actually going to try and counter it with 4 of their own.
So let's see, in order for ROCCAT to actually defend these towers, I don't think they want to be caught in a position where they have an extended wave clear battle. If Fnatic ever land one skill shot, the rest follows through. So in order for ROCCAT to defend these towers or defend sieges from Fnatic, they have to go all in. So ROCCAT have been doing a pretty good job of warding up, despite the fact that Fnatic is clearing the red buff. Look around the river and the middle lane for ROCCAT. There's multiple wards down. They need to keep the vision game up. And this could get explosive quickly. Fnatic are split up, while ROCCAT are slightly tight in it.
That was the ward straight on top of sOAZ. It makes it pretty dangerous if Fnatic are baiting out Baron to come anywhere near them as well. All that CC grabbing, Cocoon, Dark Binding, and then the follow-up from Rekkles and Peke. Doesn't leave much of many people, I think, on ROCCAT if that happens.
But you see the awkwardness now for Fnatic. They accelerated to a lead, but because they don't have the vision in ROCCAT's jungle, it's very risky for them to invade blindly. And if, let's say, they throw a blind hook into the bush without vision, it doesn't connect, that opens up the window for ROCCAT to attack. It's a small window of opportunity, yes, but as long as they're set up, maybe playing a death bush, they can kill Fnatic. So in order for Fnatic to continue making this comp work, they need to get deeper vision, they need to have look for members of ROCCAT that are alone, and then try get themselves some kills. So teleport is available for YellOwStaR. He's going to join the fight.
Oh, Peke actually going to be focused on here. There's the death mark coming down. He's got his Zhonya's though. Will he actually be able to get away with it? They've lost YellOwStaR. They've lost Peke, and Cyanide might be in trouble as well. Q will connect from Jankos. Cyanide goes down, and it's a 3-0 for ROCCAT on Dragon.
Overpow just 1v1 Peke, despite the fact Peke was able to Zhonya's hourglass that death mark. Overpow dealt all of the damage just through basic auto attacks and spells. Peke also held onto his exhaust. He did not use it over the course of the fight. So advantage ROCCAT. The mid game, I still feel, is in favor of ROCCAT. Despite being down on gold, their team fight presence is still strong. Now let's see what they can do with this Baron buff. sOAZ thinking about a steal. Rekkles is hanging around. ROCCAT are going a little low. This is 2-on-5. It's going to be difficult. I think they're going to go for it. Well, we'll see.
sOAZ off to the side of this one. Can he get in there for the steal? He's waiting till he goes low. ROCCAT actually starts to move away, and it's finished off in the end by the smite of Jankos. Can they get kills from it as well? There is a pull. They've managed to get VandeR in, but he will flash straight out. Dark Binding has landed. Rekkles going to focus him. It's another one for Rekkles. 6-0-0. Talisman pops as well. sOAZ wants himself another grab. Peke on the side, and there is the grab. It's Overpow that gets caught. Binding lands, and Rekkles gets number 7. Cocoon out of Cyanide wasn't quite open. Just like that, Fnatic able to get 2 kills of their own.
Yeah, we do see Peke going very, very low, and ROCCAT took such a long time at getting that Baron down. Fnatic were able to get their resources in place, and Rekkles 7 kills away from breaking the record. They've taken the Baron buff of 2 members of ROCCAT and opened up this top inner turret to a lot of damage, potentially taking it down before ROCCAT can even respond.
Yeah, they're going to come out of the base here with that Baron buff still on, but I think Fnatic are going to be able to get rid of it. Yep, there we go. Inner turret goes their way. 4-3 in towers. Still Fnatic holding about a 6,000 gold lead. Or a 5,000 gold lead, because my maths are rubbish. And xPeke coming back out of base. Death cap now for him. On top of that, Zhonya's there's a Void Staff well and truly on its way as well. Both teams actually moving towards the Dragon Pit here to get some control of that.
That previous fight, nobody secured Dragon. ROCCAT were able to get the kills and then they immediately peeled for Baron. And again, if Fnatic just get grouped out, if Fnatic get jumped on, they don't have Rekkles with them yet. And ROCCAT need to be decisive. They need to be willing to jump the moment something's available. And xPeke is just using his Rift Walk to his advantage.
Hopping in and out, that Rekkles now coming around. He was waiting for his red buff. Actually, YellOwStaR going towards this middle lane. And Fnatic are going to say, okay, you have yourselves a dragon, and we're going to push and we're going to take your inventory.
Yeah, I think Fnatic will be very happy with that. In order for them to continue keeping control, they need to have map presence. And the moment Millennium start dominating the map and keeping Fnatic in control, their ability to find picks dwindles. So 5th tower of the game secured for Fnatic. They hold on to that gold lead. Oh, this is going to be scary. Can it connect? That's the question.
Who's going to be the man?
There's no vision for Fnatic. Oh, they do actually have. There's the ward.
Too late.
Yeah.
Oh, actually trying to bait VandeR into that one. Sapling actually did come over. That's going to reveal all of them. And Fnatic back away, but still up on towers. But we saw what happened when a straight fight actually comes in. It's still very, very hard for Fnatic, especially since Overpow himself is only getting stronger. He's going to have himself that last Whisper in a moment.
He's got a lot of damage, and he was able to 1v1 xPeke, but again, xPeke did not use his exhaust. He may have resigned to the fact that he was going down. So I still feel Zed does fall off against focus teams as the game progresses. If he's able to find a solo target, there is the potential for outplay, but I think it goes both directions. A Cassidy and a Vayne can also outplay a Zed if they use their QSS and their Hourglass appropriately. But we'll have to see. I mean, Overpow 3-2-0. Just a little bit of CS behind xPeke. He's been able to be relatively positive in these last fights. And Fnatic, they can't really siege. They don't want to group. They don't want to be jumped on. So just going to continue looking for those picks, continue looking for when ROCCAT push an objective, and then when ROCCAT push the objective, Fnatic find an opening and secure the kill.
Alright, having a quick sip of water there after clearing out the bottom wave. He's 7 kills away from getting that record. I think in any normal setup, you'd say it's not very likely that 14 kills would have been pulled off. He's done it already this year, though. Got the 18 kills, of course, against the Copenhagen Wolves. And they've certainly set themselves up, gifted every possible kill when Rekkles has been there, giving him all the farm as well. And once again, Fnatic gonna go hunting, trying to get some vision down, this time on the bottom side of the ROCCAT jungle. And why is that? Because the last inner turret left standing is on that bottom side of the map. Rekkles is going to push the wave up.
I'd love to see Fnatic playing on the side lanes here, catching somebody through the tree line. But of course, Rekkles isn't with them, so once he brings the minion wave, that's when ROCCAT need to put on their dancing shoes. They have to avoid those skill shots at absolutely all costs.
Well,
all right, minion wave's up. Fnatic are not going for the tower yet. I still feel they need to have a pick and a numbers advantage, even now in about 13 minutes. But I'm not going for it. Minion wave already cleared by ROCCAT. Their wave clear is very strong.
Fnatic, on the other hand, can't get too close to these turrets without having a bit of an advantage on it. Without maybe hooking someone in or getting that dark binded onto one of the important targets. sOAZ again looking over the wall to pick anyone that's out of position, but ROCCAT know how to play this one. They're playing it safe.
If ROCCAT go into their jungle at all, when this moment is happening, when Fnatic are clearing the wards, it is a monumental mistake. They simply can't. Great, Cocoon catches Xaxus, instantly cancels the potential engage. And what Fnatic were doing is just getting vision control and waiting to see if ROCCAT danced. So YellOwStaR's caught up, there's multiple members surrounding him. We may see a fight, but ROCCAT not fully committing yet.
Black shield on. I think ROCCAT might be ready to move forward, and again, the Cocoon's thrown their way. He dark bindings coming out of the side. We've got a minute until that next Baron actually comes in. Look at this. sOAZ has actually used his speed to get around in front of the tower before ROCCAT could get there to stop them just pushing it down with that positional advantage in mid lane.
Almost. ROCCAT were dancing around trying to find a fight, but you notice how scared Fnatic are to pull xAxus into the team. If xAxus, Jankos, or VandeR get in the middle of Fnatic, there's a lot of crowd control they can put down. So Fnatic have to be very careful with who they hook. YellOwStaR's got teleport available, but he's going to take some time to get to the lane. 3 members of Fnatic on wave clear duty. They've lost the tower.
Yeah, this
Rekkles will be here late.
He's going to go down here. It's Celaver that's just hammering away on that, but there is xPeke managing to get the slow. Can they pick anyone out of the team? Talisman is available. There it is. Going to get popped. TP comes around as well. They've managed to catch out xAxus. VandeR is at half HP as well. Meanwhile, YellOwStaR, right in the middle of the team, is going to stun a lot of them. Rekkles gets another one. There is a double for Rekkles. Can he get any more from this? Icathian surprise, doing a lot of damage. Rekkles has flashed on the top side, slowed down. VandeR's unbreakable will stop him. And Overpow there trying to get around onto him as well. Deathmark not even used. Fnatic get 2 kills.
Yeah, they managed to chase ROCCAT all the way back. A very good teleport from YellOwStaR created enough disruption that ROCCAT was splitting up, and that allowed Rekkles to get 2 more kills. It's 5 away from the record. Blade of the Rune King is available for Overpow. He's looking for a kill.
Yeah.
He knew the QSS was down. He watched it happen in the previous team fight, so sniffed towards Rekkles' general direction, but couldn't find an opportunity.
Rekkles, Infinity Edge, Ghost Blade, Blade of the Rune King, and Quicksilver Sash. 9-0-0 and approaching 300 CS. Going to get himself there another red buff. sOAZ is going to spot VandeR over the top. Was actually going for the wards there, trying to bait them out. That Baron now live, of course. Last time caused a bit of a ruckus around that Baron.
Yeah, ROCCAT were able to get the Baron but got chased away. They took too long. There's a lot more damage on ROCCAT's side now, but they're not going to have the free time. They're not going to have the opportunity to go for that objective. Rekkles wants to split push, but look at that massive wave in the bottom. If Rekkles shows himself, ROCCAT may decide to go for Baron. So instead, just juggling the aggro of that dragon and going to secure it. So Fnatic maintain control. They've got a decent gold lead, and I think the damage levels that they're starting to build up on Castellan and Vayne are becoming absolutely terrifying.
Well, for ROCCAT, they've spotted that Rekkles was down there. He's just trying to get that wave pushing in their direction, and ROCCAT just going to turn straight onto Baron. It's pretty obvious that that was going to happen.
The thing is, for Fnatic, if they get AoEs down, this could be scary. There's a death cap hourglass on YellOwStaR. Let's see how many targets he hits.
xAxus has come out very, very far from this one. The Baron is only at half HP. Can they dive into it? Rekkles now has got to the halfway point of the map. Can they get it? They can! Fnatic steal the Baron. It's YellOwStaR that gets that one. His ulti's running in the pit, and this is going to be a whitewash. Rekkles coming in. That's 1 kill. That's 2, 3 kills for YellOwStaR. And that was almost, should have been the penta probably for Rekkles. YellOwStaR gets himself the triple though. It leaves Rekkles with 11 kills, a Baron, and an ace for Fnatic.
They melted ROCCAT. ROCCAT overcommitted to the Baron. When Rekkles was moving through the mid lane, they needed to have peeled and bailed out. You're dealing with an AoE silence from Blitzcrank and an AoE soul shackles from YellOwStaR. He stunned up 4 members of ROCCAT in the pit. And just another great performance from YellOwStaR on that Morgana. This time it's a top lane bruiser Morgana, but nevertheless, just take a look at the engage. Very patient from Fnatic. They don't go in until Baron is low, and Rekkles is about to cross the mid lane. At this point, alarm signals have to be going off. How does YellOwStaR steal it? Is it with just Tormented Soil?
Yeah.
Managed to get that one done.
It was a smite from Jankos. He smited it and missed it by 1 tick of the Tormented Soil. Rekkles comes in there at the end, and I think it was the Tormented Soil that actually got him those extra kills at the end as well.
Double for Vayne, triple for YellOwStaR. Infinity Edge, Mercurial Scimitar, the makings of what's going to be a Phantom Dance, I imagine, for Rekkles. He's 3 kills away, Joe. 3 kills away from breaking ManCloud's record.
And
2
he's
kills
not
from
died.
it.
And he's not died yet either. YellOwStaR, sadly enough for him, despite his Morgana with a death cap, with a void staff.
It's
but
pretty difficult to make.
Hourglass as well, and he's running elixirs at this point. He's got 10 assists, he needed 43. I mean, that one was probably never in a very long time going to happen in one game.
I agree with that.
Rekkles, though, is very close to hitting not just one, but 2 records.
Well, we'll see if he can break them both. Overpow going to be forced to use that shadow to get away. Fnatic now 13,000 gold in the lead, despite the uniqueness of their comp. They've got such a strong lead with Baron and with their items that I don't think ROCCAT can go toe-to-toe with them anymore. So in order for ROCCAT to pull this one off, they have to punish Fnatic for overcommitting and looking for kills.
Celaver needs to be behind the minions here.
Gotta be careful.
That is not a place to stand when they're waiting over the wall with a Blitzcrank and a Morgana and an Elise and casting to dive on top of you because they're going to pile up. Oh, flash there from, was it a flash?
Safeguard. Safeguard for Jankos.
Okay, flash, I thought.
So that's one thing as well.
Coming off
with the exception of maybe Xaxus, as well as Celaver, 3 of the members of ROCCAT can actually dash through some of those skill shots. Here comes sOAZ.
Oh, Jankos pulled into it. He's not going to survive either. It's xPeke that gets that one. And now Fnatic 5 versus 4 on the inhibitor turret. They're going to have super minions pouring into the base in just a moment, which makes the job of taking this second inhib a lot easier. What are they going to do? They're going to wait it out a bit.
This is difficult times for ROCCAT. With this loss, they are looking much more likely at taking that 6. But look at the damage onto Celaver. Fnatic got the opportunity. sOAZ, Rocket Grab, but so close to VandeR.
Very close. Black Shield actually stopped VandeR's ultimate from knocking him up there as well. And that is the second inhibitor falling. I think Fnatic are going to do this possibly by the textbook because they still want 3 more kills onto Rekkles.
No, it's a textbook. You win the game by taking all of the towers and the Nexus, Joe.
And the record.
That is the way it works. But you can't blame them. Truthfully, the few times they have had team fights, it's kind of gone 50-50. You know, ROCCAT did look okay about 20 minutes ago. But unfortunately,
you mean the one except the big one at Baron where YellOwStaR
that was just a bad decision. I mean, you're in the pit against a AP Morgana. Overpow should have known what was going to happen because he played mid lane AP Morgana. That's the perfect scenario for you and that champion. So anyways, another tower going to fall down, uncontested.
Yeah,
and I think Fnatic are just going to keep sieging this one up until they get to the Nexus.
So, 8 turrets down. ROCCAT, lots of gold behind. Scrying actually going over there. And they're just waiting. Once again, South just scanning out to see if there are any wards on top of the position. I mean, it's pretty obvious where Blitzcrank and Morgana are going to be waiting at this this stage of the game. Don't go near the wall.
Oh, so close. So close. Jankos is toying with his life, I feel.
There's a ward just behind where they've been scanning as well, so they've actually been spotted this entire time.
Well, we knew they were there despite the vision. And of course, those living artilleries haven't had the best accuracy, actually, from Celaver. Not that it matters, I'm afraid.
Yeah, 40 minutes on the clock here. 11:03 Vayne. 00:15 Blitzcrank. He's a double James Bond +1.
Now the inhibitor falls, and Fnatic lets super minions in 2 lanes. Once they group up, Fnatic really just have to push down this final inhibitor.
There we go.
They finally got the very close. sOAZ has actually been very good on most of his hooks. And despite missing, it wasn't even a miss. He did a flash hook earlier and Celaver actually flashed away from it.
Oh, they're actually going to go for sOAZ here. He's going to have to get his ulti off, get that silence in there. He did it in the last second. YellOwStaR will also be using his Zhonya's. Where's the rest of Fnatic? They're trying to get in there. xPeke is going to do a ton to them. Cyanide will lock up one. Cyanide actually getting the kill there onto Celaver as xPeke gets the slow. The minions are killing the base. The minions might stop Rekkles from getting his record. There's the slow coming down. VandeR is low. Xaxus is going to get onto the fountain. There's the hook onto VandeR. Rekkles gets that one. 12:04. He needs 2 more kills. There's 2 more there for him. But they're on the fountain, and they're not going to give it away. Can he get them? There's another one. He needs 1 more. The minions have killed it. And Rekkles misses it.
Look at him.
He misses it by
He's distraught. 1 kill is the difference. xPeke, YellOwStaR, and Cyanide stole all of his kills.
He does, however, equal the record of that set by ManCloud. It was so close as well. So ridiculous. And inside of the Baron pit.
So despite the composition and despite whatever you want to argue, the mindset, Fnatic were locked in second. I love seeing unique compositions like this. Just because it's off meta, just because it's different, does not make it bad. And I'd love it if teams were more brave to do these kinds of comps in higher pressure situations. If you've got the ability to play them and do them, why not pull them out?
That's what's fantastic about League of Legends at all levels as well, that you can do something like this in a normal game, and you can do something like this in an LCS game. I'm not sure there are many people out there that would go 13-0-4 with Vayne like Rekkles did.
There is one thing, while he did not get the kill record, he can be celebrating the lowest number of deaths in an LCS split. Hey, he almost broke kills. He's 1 away from kills, and he died 27 times in 28 games. You can call him, you can say whatever you like, but that is a fantastic, fantastic stat.
Yeah, averaging less than 1 death a game is just pretty ridiculous. It says wonders about his positional play. Yeah. Also tells you that sometimes he might play it a little bit safer than he should do.
I would have said that in the spring split. I would have said that in the spring split. If you discount one game against the Wolves, we got 18 kills, and now one game we got 13 kills. It is still an impressive amount of kills in a split.
Yeah.
But bar none, one of the best AD carries Europe has ever produced.
Also want to give credit to YellOwStaR here, playing that full AP Morgana. That Baron fight was all about him.
Yes.
They pulled out xAXUS, he just dives in the back, pops his ultimate, steals Baron with the last tick of the Tormented Soil, steals Rekkles' record with more ticks of that Tormented Soil.
If YellOwStaR had been a better support,
a true support,
he would have given Rekkles the kill record. But he didn't. Scumbag YellOwStaR. That's the way it is.
Well, always nice to see something a little bit different. And of course, Fnatic already got that second place locked up. So guys, we're going to take a look at the playoff bracket. ROCCAT is now locked into the 6th place seed. We just need to find out who they're going to be playing.
Interesting to see. We don't know who's going to finish 3rd, but whoever wins that matchup, there's the possibility of a ROCCAT versus Fnatic rematch at Gamescom at the semifinals. Quarterfinals, of course, will be next week here in our studio, best of 5s. And we've got a few more games today to figure out who will be taking those spots.
Yeah, still a few more games to come. Still possibly, in fact, no, there is definitely tiebreakers now.
Yes.
Because of that. Actually, the last game with the Super Hot crew said we definitely get tiebreakers. Me and Quickshot are prepared. We've been folding our paper vigorously throughout this one. And actually, if we do another fold here, Quickshot, let's
You do that. You figure that one out. I don't want to take responsibility.
So, we've got 4 options. Gambit and the Copenhagen Wolves tied, and Millennium and ROCCAT tied. 2 tiebreaker games.
Yes.
Or just a single one with Gambit and the Copenhagen Wolves tied. We could also have SK and Super Hot Crew tied, Millennium and ROCCAT tied. We could still have a lot more ties, guys. So you better stick around. It's going to be great. We're going to head over to Shox and Deficio, though, who are standing by with Fnatic's Rekkles.
Thank you very much, Joe. I think a congratulations is in order here, tying for the record for most kills and making that record for least deaths. But I gotta ask you, which of your teammates are you most mad at right now that they took that last kill?
I'm not actually sure. We made the call that I need 14 kills. That was actually like one of our main strategies going into this game. It's pretty in-depth, you know, but that was our strategy and we got really close, so it felt a bit sad in the end, you know, but I don't know. We do it as a team, so it's fun anyways.
But it must have been absolutely fantastic going into the game knowing you could get the record. Just looking back also at your season, every single game you play is pretty much a perfect AD carry game. Why are you so damn good and why am I not so damn good?
I'm not actually sure. I think my strength is in my work ethic. Like I play 24/7, if you can put it that way. I just try to put as much time as possible in the game. And even when I'm not in the game, I'm just thinking about the game. So I guess I'm sort of a nerd, if you can put it, if you can put it that way.
That is not a bad thing by any means. Let's focus on the game for a little bit, because talk me through the comp and what the idea was. Obviously, they wanted to help you out as much as possible. Was everything going exactly as planned? Did they surprise you anyway in the picks?
We got a bit worried, actually, because our plan was to first pick Morgana, which like sort of counters Elise, because we wanted our Elise ourselves, and they were like hovering it in the first rotation, so we got a bit worried. because it was a big part of our composition, because our composition was all about like hooking, CCing, and then just killing that guy for me. So, but yeah, we got us the picks we wanted pretty much, and our like main guy in the team was sOAZ, of course, setting up all the kills for me. So it was really fun actually playing this game.
And we do actually have a team fight. It's not really sOAZ setting it up, but we can just pull it up on the screen here where YellOwStaR is the guy to make sure some people are in place so you can pick up the kills. We can just run it here. And you told me just before, you were the guy making the call here.
Yeah, so they were pushing mid as 5 here, and YellOwStaR was farming top, and he said he would back and get another large rod, and then he would TP mid here. I was actually the one making the call that he could TP on the mid. And the sort of like mindset going into a chase like this is that you can't chase too hard, because then they're just gonna turn instantly and kill you all. But you can't chase too slow, because then they're just gonna run away. So we found a good mixture with the Kassadin where you just Rift Walk E, and then the Morgana came in at a good timing and we just locked them all down.
And just to inform you, you almost killed VandeR here, but you actually survived, so you didn't get the last kill.
Yeah, it feels so close actually. There's so many games I can just think like, wow, if I got that kill, it would still be one more. So, but it's fine anyways.
The game altogether, was there any part where it was hard? Because I can imagine you have this comp and it's all for you, but you can't really siege a tower that good, and you have to rely on some other things to play around that.
The idea behind Vayne is always to face a top laner, and we were a bit worried about them playing an AP top lane, because that's sort of the thing that's good against Vayne, like a Lulu, Gragas, Ryze, because it's really hard for me to like 1v1 them. So we were a bit worried walking into the game, but they picked Mączka, which is like heavily countered by Vayne. He couldn't do anything in the lane, and then I got an early QSS against the Ced, so I could basically go wherever I wanted in this game. I had some moments in the game where I was grouping too much, but still, like, we had so much control of the game actually.
So looking at playoffs now, you guys, of course, straight into the semi-final, waiting to see who you're actually going to face in the semi-final here. Who do you hope to face, and will Fnatic go to Worlds?
I'm pretty sure we will go to Worlds. I will make sure we don't fail at least. But I don't know, we are fine with facing any team actually, and I think every team is really good, so it doesn't really matter. We're just gonna go into the game, do our thing, and then hope it works.
Yeah, you said obviously going to Worlds is the absolute goal, and when I've talked to you before, you've always said, I want to prove what I'm worth on the biggest stage, and we know that you weren't particularly happy with All-Star, so how does that mingle into the quest of going to Worlds?
This time I'm not gonna take a break, that's for sure. I learned my lesson before All-Stars when I went home. I lost a lot of practice time, and then I missed out on picking up Twitch, which was like broken in that patch. So that's a thing I might not have missed out on if I stayed in the house and just practiced as much as I always do. So I've learned my lesson. I will not go home again, even though I miss my family. I will just stay, practice, and hope to perform.
Everything to win well. We'll see you guys in the semifinals. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we need to recall the base, but when we come back, the super hot crew will take on the Copenhagen Wolves.
Cyanide, mayday, mayday, cyanide. Mayday, tango down, mayday, mayday, mayday.
I'm coming back, I'm coming now, I'm soon there.
They're still doing it.
I'm soon there, we killed them all, we killed them all. I go. Wait a bit, Nice. I'm coming now. I'm on lead. Nice. 3 kills, man, 3 kills.
VandeR. He's low. Okay. You can get them both. I got Mączka here.
Oh my god, Regen, did you see that?